Hey everybody, Nick here, and today I got a review for you of this very interesting little light right here. This is the Olight I1R EOS flashlight. First off, I want to, in the name of full disclosure, thank the folks over at Olight for sending this little guy along. This was sent to me directly. I told them, as always, I'd talk about the good, the great, the bad, the ugly. They still sent it, so there you go. But thank you for that, Olight. Next thing, size comparison here. This is a tiny freaking flashlight. Here it is against the Olight X7R Marauder. So you can see here it is slightly smaller. Here it is against the E-Tech D25. Hey, there we go. Here it is against a one of my favorite everyday carry choices, the Through Night Neutron 2C, and inside there an 18650 battery. So you can see here this is really freaking tiny, and here it is against. Oh, what else do I have there? Of course, Spyderco Delica pocket knife. So anyways, there you go. There's that. And then finally, a quick note. Yeah, this says Nick on the side of it. They they sent it to me engraved. Which, okay, sure, why not, I guess. So anyways, there you go. Let's go ahead and talk about the good, the great, the bad, and the ugly of this very interesting little light right here. So first off, on the good side, this is actually a USB rechargeable light. Now, this is something that I've considered to be just a game changer in the light game because, you know, there are many people out there who are willing to charge weird batteries, you know, 18650s, little tiny things like that. But this guy actually includes, underneath here, a USB port. Right here is a micro USB port, and all you need to do is plug any micro USB power cable into this guy, and then you'll see a little LED illuminate here. It'll start off as red, and then over time it will turn green when the light is charged. This is a beautiful thing, absolutely 100%, because it makes recharging this guy very, very easy. It makes knowing when it's charged not very, very easy, and it is integrated into the light. I've had other lights on the channel before, like the Fairy, the DQG Fairy, I think, but there it actually had a separate piece that you had to put onto the light in order to recharge the battery, whereas here, the part that you need to charge the light is always with it, and that's kind of awesome. And so I like that very much, and I think that makes this guy a lot more usable and a lot more useful than something else. If you remember, oh yeah, my light's dead, all you need to do is plug it into the USB charger that's already probably there for your phone. So that's great. Next thing, this is a light that is actually pretty well suited to keychain use. It's relatively small, very, very small, but it hangs well. It's well positioned, and this is a size at which it's not weird, particularly to have something on the keychain. I mean, a lot of people are willing to carry something huge. I mean, I've seen people with things like this hanging off the keychain, like, okay, have fun with that. But I think this really does work, and specifically with having the keychain inside your hands here, it makes it a lot easier to use. The keychain provides a bit of a stabilizing force, and so I think this actually does make sense as a keychain light, whereas a lot of lights that are sold as keychain lights where it's like, that better be a big old keychain. So there you go. Next thing, the interface on this guy is actually pretty easy. It starts off, obviously, otherwise it wouldn't last long. And then you turn it a little bit, you twist, and that turns it to low. And then if you keep turning it, it turns it up to high, and then at a certain point it stops turning, then you can go back down to low. It's just using this twisty interface, and it's a very intuitive one because they're really only the modes. It's not like, okay, twist and untwist 18 times, and that'll get you to blah-blah-blah mode. No, it's just a little bit of twisting makes it a little bit light, and a lot of twisting makes it a lot light. There you go. Easy peasy freaking squeezy. There you go. Next thing, $17. Look, that's a good price. Yeah, you can pay less for a light, but look, for this price, I'm pretty happy with it. And so, to me at least, that's what's good here, is that the price is $17, which honestly feels pretty solid for something that is quite well done. The interface is really easy. It is actually well suited to keychain use, and it is USB rechargeable. What's great to me about this guy is that it is actually surprisingly bright. You look at something like this, you're like, okay, LOL. And especially for those of us who grew up in the 90s where like little tiny lights were like the ones that you hang on your keychain and squeeze, and it provides just like a little bit. Maybe it's going to be enough to get your, illuminate the keyhole on your door late at night, but it wasn't really worth a damn in terms of light. But the thing is, this is actually surprisingly bright. It's got the two settings. On the low setting, they're calling this 5 lumens, and it's a little bit spotty, so it actually projects a little bit better than you think, but the low setting is actually enough for me to navigate a darker room with reasonably adjusted eyes, and that's pretty excellent. And then on the high setting, it's 130 lumens, which is actually, this is like brightish. This is maybe not what I'd want for, search and rescue or something, but it's actually quite good. It's pretty decent lighting, even in a larger room. And so I'm impressed with the light output of this guy. Even the low setting is better than kind of my standard benchmark for how low a flashlight needs, or how high, what the lowest is that a flashlight can be, and that tends to be the flash camera on something like an iPhone or something like that, because that's a light that everybody has, and if the light you're carrying specifically to do the job is no better than that, then what are you doing with your life? But this one is absolutely, even on that low setting, considerably brighter. So, to me at least, that's what's actually great about this guy, is that it is weirdly bright for the size, and that I appreciate. On the bad side, you know what? The run times on this guy are about what you would expect. It's about 20 minutes on the high mode, and remember, the high mode is reasonably bright, but you actually get 7 hours on low. That's not so bad, all told, considering that you can navigate a dark room with low. I'm pretty impressed with that, and so this, especially given that you have the USB charge, which makes it a lot easier to, I was using my light a lot today, here, I'll plug it in before I plug in my phone. That's absolutely excellent. Next thing on the bad side, unfortunately, is that the battery is built in. This is, I don't even know how you would take this apart, but I gather there's a cell in there, probably with a charging on top of it. Whatever. But what that means is that you can't swap it out. If you go through your entire battery life, you are sitting in for the reasonably long charge time. From Dad, they're saying about an hour and 15 minutes. That's not incredible. But you know what? Okay, with the USB thing, I'm more okay with an unrechargeable battery than anything. And it's $17. Yeah, the battery will wear in over time, but it's $17. And by the time that this battery is dead, they're probably going to have a version of this that's putting out like 1 million lumens, given the way the flashlight market's gone in the last 10 years. Then finally, on the bad side, I gotta say the twisty interface is a little bit tricky. Specifically, if you don't have anything else attached, you're really kind of having to twist. You're holding one side with your middle finger here, and you're having to twist with your thumb and forefinger. I can pull it off, but it really requires a lot of finagling sort of to get this into the hand in a proper place. Like just picking this up off a table, there's a process of getting your hand into the proper positioning for it, especially, and so you can do it, but I don't find it super compelling, and you might actually want to mount this on a keychain or a lanyard or something like that. And by the way, that's another thing. This is relatively lightweight, so it could even live on a lanyard, like around the neck with a card or something like that. So there's a lot of good there. But anyways, to me at least, that is what is bad, which is that the twist interface is tricky without having anything else attached. Battery on this guy is built in, and the run times are honestly about what you might expect. On the ugly front, I'm sorry, I say this every time, but it bugs me here again. Why is this yet another black flashlight, guys? Of all of the things, especially that you're hunting around on a bigger keychain or in a purse or something like this, make it show up. I mean, there are so many nice finishes you can... Why do you keep making flashlights black? I mean, that's... anyways, I digress. Look, final conclusions. This is actually a pretty nice, tiny little light. I took this out of the package. Thought to myself, yeah, that's kind of hilarious, but no, thank you. But then I actually used it, and I was really impressed, because it is remarkably bright for the size here. Flashlights keep amazing me with their overall just incredible brightness, and this one even is like, wow, that's impressive. It's also very tiny, and it's also very rechargeable, which is sort of a requirement for me to really fall in love with a light these days. Absolutely, it's not going to be the right light for a bunch of situations. If you were out doing search and rescue, this is going to be markedly insufficient. And your time is limited no matter what. This will not get you through a long shift at night, even on the low setting. And, well, the twisty interface is not ideal. It's not, going to be a great tactical choice for flashlight self-defense, which is apparently a thing. But the thing is, it is small, it is cheap, and if you want a better light, you can get a better light. There are all kinds of different options here. You can go to something like this, the D25A, which has a built-in battery that's it's a lithium-ion sort of thing, although you can just use a AA battery in there. But this will get you much better run times, much higher brightness, and for a big increase in size, you could go for the Through Night Neutron, which is one of my favorites in this size range, which is, again, a lot brighter, a lot more staying power. Or heck, you can go to the the X7R Marauder here. If you really want a big light, you can get big lights, but that's not what this is about. It's not the best choice for everybody. It's not going to kick the Marauder out of your life. But if you need a light to bridge that gap between what's already built into your cell phone and something that's, small, but you may not always want to have with you, this is a pretty good option here. I'm actually pretty impressed, and I think this might be a very good, very small little choice for that kind of thing. So anyways, there you go. Hope this has been interesting to you, that I shed a little light on this subject, and that you have yourselves just an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. Bye now.